Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys. If you've seen what the title is, my special guest tonight is a person who I admire. Not only his career, but how he got into the NFL and all that. We did that on a previous show. I'm bringing back the one and only Hall of Famer, and we'll get into this, but his number was retired by the Chargers, so we'll get into that. I'm talking about none other than Hall of Fame, a wide receiver for the San Diego Chargers, Charlie Joyner. Charlie, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Glad to be on the show.
Great. Glad to have you as always.
Good.
So speaking of the Hall of Fame, you recently were back there for this very special Hall of Fame alumni because of somebody who meant the world to you that was inducted in the Hall of Fame. Would you like to start us out with that?
Yeah, I would. This is one that I didn't want to miss, and this is one that probably a lot of people on my group, a lot of my former teammates didn't want to miss also. But the Hall of Fame inducted Don Coryell.
Yes.
And Don Coryell was my coach here in San Diego. He's the one that came up with the Air Express or the Air Coryell Express. He and Dan Fouts, and it was quite an honor, quite a treat to be there. And Don Coryell went in the Hall of Fame, and he created my career. It's astounding that that can happen, but it did. But finally, when you persevere or something, just keep at it. Sooner or later, somebody gonna give in.
Absolutely. And Charlie, that's amazing. You mentioned that talking to you earlier. You mentioned that you've been back there ever since you were inducted in 1996. What? I know that this one was obviously really special for you, but and talking about that. So what did Don Coryell mean to you on and off the field? Was he a different person as a head coach than he was as a person off the field?
I think you're probably correct in saying that, because I think it was probably two different personalities there. His game face personality, his coaching personality, and his regular everyday personality. He was fun all the time. I can tell you that right now. But when he got in football games, he kind of changed, kind of put on his Superman cloak, and he was just a different person altogether. And he could really root you on. He was more like a cheerleader.
Oh yeah.
A head coach and cheerleader who tried to inspire you to play better football.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. He. I don't know if I don't think I mentioned this to you, but I met him one time at a gas station of all places in Santee. And I was out there visiting a friend, and I ran into him, and just a really, really nice person. Shook my hand, and I told him, good luck on game day, and he appreciated that. But just a really down-to-earth guy, really, at least for the few minutes that I talked to him.
I tell you what, he is more as down-to-earth as it gets.
You
can't get no closer.
Yeah.
No, nobody can really, really compare to that guy.
Right.
He's a great human being.
Right. Now, when you went back there to Canton, like you have been, you noted earlier off air that you've been back there every year since you've been inducted. What's the one thing that you look forward to when you go back there?
I really think the induction ceremonies.
Really?
The ones they have at night, and they introduce the inductees. And they march on stage, they march off stage, and I really like that kind of ceremony, because he's entering an elite establishment.
Right, absolutely.
And it should mean a lot to not just to the inductees, but it should mean a lot to the entire family.
Absolutely.
Especially when guys bring the entire family with them, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
The entire family should be there.
Right.
For induction ceremonies, yeah. And I just think that's a wonderful, wonderful 3 or 4 days, because it really exposed people to what all that hard work cost them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It exposed them to it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that just leads me into another question, which is, what are some of the things you do if the ceremony is only one day? What are some of the things you do for the 4 days that you're there?
Oh, really? If you actually let them know that you are coming to that to the ceremony, they will have plans for you.
Really?
You know, and sometimes they have little appointments where you can even make a couple $1,000 if you wanted to. Or they have some plans for everybody.
Nice.
Really. They try to, they kind of, if they do have a little money to spare, they try to share the money with the players.
Well, that's good.
And, that's just pretty good. And they try to spread it out equally among the players, no matter whether you're new, old, you've been there a long time, or you just getting the whole thing. It's an equal thing they do.
Nice.
They make sure one person ain't getting more than another one.
That's great. Now, how many people can it hold? I mean, the alumni, that is. How many is the alumni the only ones that are on the stage, or there's more off stage?
No. Wait a minute. Let me picture it. Okay, I got it now. No, everybody. If you don't want to sit on stage, you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
And I remember when they used to have that during the day,
and
it would get really hot.
Sure.
And a lot of guys couldn't just sit down in that heat listening to some induction speeches.
Right.
So now they moved it back to like a 5:30 thing now. The sun is going down.
Right.
And the older players don't have to sit out there in the hot sun. And if you want to go to the ceremony, you can. If you want to stay in a room and watch the ceremony on television, you can. And just about what you want. And what you can handle. You want to stay on stage with the guy? Good. You can do that. If you want to be in the room, having a beer and watching ceremonies from there.
There you go.
Do that also. But they have different options for you, just depending on what you want to do.
Got it. So they're pretty lenient on what you want to do. In other words, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have special activities for you also. Okay.
That's good.
Because they may have an autograph session for 2 or 3 players over at one high school or at an arena somewhere. Or they could have a few other things. They planned ahead.
Right.
And they try to make sure they get the most active guys. A lot of them just go back for the homecoming. But some of them go back actually to make a few dollars,
Wow.
And you just got to let them know exactly what you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Got a question here from one of the people in the chat's name's Avatar. He's asking, Charlie, is there a player you were excited to see get inducted into the Hall of Fame that isn't part of the Chargers? I mean, not just this last time, but anytime.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Well, because you were in the Buffalo, you were with the Buffalo Bills for quite a while, so I'm assuming you like.
Right.
But did you ever see any of them go in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
I saw Andre Reed go in.
Nice.
I saw James Lofton go in. Not coach both of those guys in Buffalo.
Right. Now,
there's certain players that especially ones that you've coached. If you can get to that next step of coaching, there's some guys you're gonna be wanting to see in that Hall of Fame. And Andre Reed and James Lofton, they were Hall of Fame players when I got to Buffalo. But, they earned it, and they do a very good job. In fact, those 2 guys come back every year.
Nice.
They're there. They really love. They love the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
And they both live in San Diego too. Now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Andre Reed and Lofton, they both live in San Diego.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
I don't want to say they're following me, but
yeah, no, I'm not.
It's good to have them in town. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Do you ever do you ever go and see them at all? Do you talk to them or?
Oh, well, most of the time I meet them at a lot of affairs. Like,
right.
Andre Reed has a golf tournament for charity.
Okay.
And we always, have a bunch of us there.
Mm-hmm.
And she could have a couple of dinners there where the wives like to go to, and they like to have a player come in and be a special speaker.
Oh, nice.
That's good also, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we see each other a lot, without having to just go bang on the guy's door and knock the door down and say, man, I haven't seen you in years, because you will see him again somewhere,
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
something planned where both of you will be there.
Right. Well, that takes me into this question and rolls right into it, and that is when you went, or whenever you go back to the Hall of Fame, what is the one person you hope to see?
The one person I hope to see?
Yes.
There's two of them.
Okay.
Dan Fouts.
Yeah, I figured that one. Mm-hmm.
Right. And Kellen Winslow.
There you go. Well, Kellen Winslow's tied to you on another segment we're going to get into down the road, but yeah, obviously because both of them were instrumental in that. Eric Coryell, especially Dan Fouts, as well as yourself and Kellen Winslow. But now, do you guys go out to dinner? Do you hang out together? Do you do things together, or is it just like?
We're stuck together like glue.
Perfect.
And I think all the activities that you should bring your wife. There's also activities for the wives that they plan. To go to fashion shows and stuff like that. Right. And when they take their time, when it's their time to go somewhere and have a nice little time or something. The fellas always get together and have a little chat. See how everything is going. And I tell you what, that is the biggest factor of me going back than anything. Sure. It's seeing the people that you played with. Yep. Yeah, and it's that camaraderie that I obviously don't know anything about being in the NFL, but I can just imagine it's the camaraderie, it's the friendship, it's the going to battle, so to speak, every week with these guys and playing your heart out and all of that when it culminates in going back to the Hall of Fame as alumni, that absolutely has to be just a very, very fun 3 or 4 days. It's a great 4 days. Yeah. It's a great 4 days. And you always wonder, even guys you played against, you always wonder, God, Lee, is he all right? Because I used to, Mike Haynes used to play for the Raiders. Sure. The Patriots and the Raiders. We played against each other so many times during our career that, I always kind of worry, if I don't see him or if he get there like a day late, I might get a little worried and say, I hope nothing happened, nothing bad happened. But it's like a fraternity. Absolutely. It's a great fraternity, and I enjoy going back every year just to see. Absolutely. Just to see people. Right. Yeah. Do you ever spend any time walking through the hall and looking at some of the players that are in there? Man, let me tell you, I do that all the time. Really? I mean, look here, I go to that Hall of Fame, and if I happen to go into a room, one of the rooms where the statues are and the mosque, I sit there and I watch it, and I'll be looking. I believe this guy played back in 1946, but he was a great one. And then I walked by Jim Brown. Oh man, he was a guy that put the NFL on the map. Yep. Then you walk by Johnny Unitas, the greatest quarterback of all time. And then I enjoy going up and down. I do it every year too. Nice. Every year. Nice. I'll go up and down those aisles and I'll look at those busts and I wanna know everything behind it. And I'm so glad that the Hall of Fame fans are little radio talks about all the guys. They install that technology in there. Nice. You just hit that little button, and the whole career that get the prayer right there, it comes up, and I'll just be mashing them buttons, Imagine. I imagine. I can tell you what it was. The whole. I could probably quote a lot of those careers to you. Well, feel free if you got one that you want to talk about, that'd be great. Yes, I did. But I think the two that I really like the most and I appreciate the most is Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are my two favorites because we all were on the same team.
Are you surprised Kellen Winslow is not in the Hall of Fame?
Kellen Winslow, he's in.
Oh, he is in. Oh, my mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was elected for all of us.
Oh, that's right. My mistake. I'm sorry, Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you ever go and listen to your own?
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Okay. See if they got it right.
Yeah. I gotta walk the line. I'll be the first one to walk the line, and I turn it on and I listen to whatever they have to say about me. Then I go right down the line. I go find Dan. I go find Keller. You know.
Yeah.
I go find them all.
Nice. Yeah.
I go find Lance Allworth.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of the offensive tackle.
Oh.
That's in Hall of Fame. Played with Allworth. What is that guy's name?
Offensive line.
He's back every year too.
Nice.
He's there every year also.
Good. That's great.
I can hang. Dan. What's the guy that played with Lance Allworth in the Hall of Fame? Ron Mix.
Ron Mix. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Ron Mix.
Ron Mix.
Yeah.
In the Hall of Fame also. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. He was a beast on the line.
Oh. Yes, he was.
Man.
He was. We had a good contention because we all just most of the time we all just get on the same plane, and
right.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all meet up together and go.
Well, it depends on when you want to leave,
True.
And I guess some of them probably be leaving at the very same time.
Right.
A couple of the couples, yeah, and that it's good. It's good to ride along and talk.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, is there one last question on here? Unless you want to continue on this topic, I'll go to the other one. Does the Hall of Fame committee put on some type of like a banquet, dinner, or something like that, or is it pretty much on your own?
Oh no! They got a dinner, big time dinner for you.
Oh, that's great.
And they got a dinner they got a luncheon for the wives.
Oh, great. Okay.
And most of the activities for men is definitely just for men. And but we do have a luncheon.
That's great.
A big time luncheon that they have for us on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the day before the induction ceremonies.
Right.
I mean, they call it the Ray Nitschke luncheon. And
wow.
It is a big affair because that's where you get to discuss all your problems, all your little, if you don't agree with something, just then you can spill it out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a few things. Yeah, they do it upright.
Oh, that's great.
They're trying to make it good for everybody.
That's really good. Really glad to hear that because that stuff, like I said, as fans, we don't get to know any of this stuff. So it's really it's very special and a privilege to hear it, straight from somebody who goes there every year and experiences that. That's amazing. That's awesome. Avatar wants to know this question to you. It says, Charlie, were you close to the late Dick Butkus?
No, I was not.
Okay.
The only thing I can tell you that is that when I was a rookie, and we played the Bears in an exhibition game, and I went in there and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know Dick Butkus from nobody else back then. I went in there and I kind of, I don't want to call it a cheap shot. But I gave him a good lick on a run play one time.
Oh.
And he jumped up and looked at me and said, "Hey, Joyner, I'm going to get you for that." I was scared to death. I mean, I was looking for him the entire time I was in there. I was looking for him. I said, "Oh, my God, I hope I didn't just make Dick Butkus really mad at me,
I'll tell you what.
Dick Butkus was a great person.
Great
person, great guy, and what a tremendous loss for the rest of the sports world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember seeing him across the line of scrimmage, And that look on his face, that was if that didn't scare the daylights out of you, nothing would, because that was a look.
Oh yeah, you know he was a heavy talker, and he could one thing he could do, he could really get to you and put a solid lick on you.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
He wasn't the kind of player that missed a lot of tackles.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I bet he didn't miss very many at all.
Yeah, he was for a lineman like that. He was quick. I mean, he was a quick guy, no doubt about that.
He was kind of like Jim Brown. He might have been a little ahead of his time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because if Jim Brown or Ray Niskett was playing today,
mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have enough money in your payroll to pay him.
Oh, probably not. You're right.
Yeah, you wouldn't have money for people like Butkus and Brown, Johnny Unitas. How do you pay those guys if they're in the in a big time career move?
Oh, absolutely. They'd be the richest ones out playing now.
Of course,
no doubt.
Yeah, you really lucky when you got Jim Brown playing now, because the league would have to pay him, not us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No doubt about it. Anything else you want to say about your experiences at the Hall of Fame and anything of that nature before we jump into the next topic?
No, the Hall of Fame is it's a good camaraderie weekend
mm-hmm.
where players can review memories, and believe it or not, retired football players are like anybody else.
Sure.
They like to hear about themselves.
Of course.
They like to know that what they did was proper, what they did was good.
Mm-hmm.
And we just like anybody else, we just like to hear it. Yep. If somebody's talking about us, we like to hear about it.
Absolutely.
And this affords you the time where they remind you of what great things that you did and what great things you probably still could do.
Right.
If you just hang in there and stay with the program.
Absolutely. Well said. Absolutely. Well said. Jody Lynn Baker in the chat wants to give a shout out to you, Charlie. She says you are one of her all-time favorite NFL greats. So there you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. Speaking of accolades, I know the pinnacle of your NFL career undoubtedly was getting into the Hall of Fame, but I would have to venture to say that this is a very, very close second, if not 1A and 1B, and that is in week 1 of the NFL season in Los Angeles, the Chargers retired your number 18 jersey along with Kellen Winslow. Charlie, walk me through that whole experience.
Oh, that was a good weekend, I thought. And I thought you can get inducted into the Hall of Fame and you're jubilant for years,
mm-hmm.
because you're in there. But when your own team and your own fellow teammates and fellow executives and fellow owner is there,
mm-hmm.
they retire your jersey. And they're just telling you that you are one of our immortals. And nobody else will ever wear this number but you. That's a great feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great feeling. Yeah.
Now, hopefully, they placed number 18 next to Lance Allworth's number 19 because you two were dynamite. I know you didn't play with him on the Chargers, but as Charger receivers, both of you were dynamite. And I think that would be just special if they hung number 18 right next to 19. That'd be great.
Well, I think they will.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure at the stadium, they're going to hang them up pretty soon.
Right.
At the stadium, they have them hanging up in a certain section or something.
Mm-hmm.
They might even put a little museum room in the stadium, like a lot of other stadiums have.
Right.
Have the little rooms for
mm-hmm.
the former players. Right.
Right.
Well, no matter what it is, though, it was a great honor, and I appreciate everything that they did for me.
Now, did you ever think Did you ever think that your number would be retired? Going back to
No, I did.
okay.
I surely did. I never. At one point, when I retired from football, I didn't think I would even ever get elected to the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
I just didn't think that. Maybe I accomplished a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought that maybe I haven't quite accomplished enough.
Mm.
Like not winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's
right.
one thing. Yeah.
Well,
That's one thing that kind of hurts you from making to the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
And but that's all right. If I make it, I make it. But I enjoyed my career and I enjoyed what I was doing, and I just very attractive to be with all those football players and being their companion, not their companions, but being their partners.
Sure.
And making them create the league that we played in and what we into now.
Right. With the entire career that you've had, did you ever? Let me go back and let me rephrase that a bit here. Looking back on your career as to how it all began, going to the Hall of Fame and then having your number retired, Charlie, could you ever have written a better script?
No, I probably couldn't. I know I couldn't write a better script than that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a country guy from Louisiana, and I just didn't think that happened with people. I remember, I didn't think it ever happened to me, but I remember, what was his name? I used to admire a great football player who played for LSU.
LSU.
Wait a minute. He played for Billy Cannon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. His name was Billy Cannon. He played back in the old AFL.
Right.
He's a great running back, All-American running back with LSU. And I think when he got to the AFL, which is the American Football League back then, and I think he was playing for the Houston Oilers, one of those teams. He became a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
He turned out to be a very good tight end. Billy Cannon. I used to admire him because he was probably Louisiana's probably greatest athlete.
Well, I don't know. You're in the Hall of Fame, or they're ring official. I'm not too sure about
that. Yeah. Billy Cannon, they haven't quite got to him yet to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
How they would pronounce it. But I think he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
I think he belongs because he was a pioneer.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
I would.
He went from running back to tight end. All-American running back. I want to say he won the Heisman Trophy also. I don't know if that's true or not, but he went from that to being a tight end in the pros. So that takes quite a bit of athletic ability and mental ability also.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, when they were inducting, or I should say retiring your number at halftime in that season opener, now, do you receive anything from them? Do they give you a ring, or do you get like a replica jersey? Or
I got a replica jersey that was delivered to my house that next weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
I already got that jersey hung up.
I don't doubt it. I would too. If there's anything in your career that you could change, what would it be?
Change how? What you mean?
Change? Like if you could change it, like not being drafted by the Oilers, but then again, if that were the case, then you wouldn't have ended up with the Chargers. So
that's right, I wouldn't end up with the Chargers.
So you probably wouldn't change a thing.
No, I would not one thing, not right now.
Yeah, well, I can.
I'm kind of grateful for where I ended up. Every career move I made,
right?
I think I did. I think I made it. I made my career better.
Absolutely.
By each and every move I made.
Absolutely.
And, going from Houston to Cincinnati
Mm-hmm.
to San Diego. I think those are 3 moves that I fell into, and there's 3 moves that were helpful for me.
Right.
Getting to the Hall of Fame and being a very productive player.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with all due respect, I'm not sure, and then maybe you would agree too, that would not have happened had you not landed on the Chargers because of Eric Coryell and all the open passing with Dan Fouts and all that. So
exactly right.
Yep.
You know, we owe Don Coryell a lot. You know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know, and not just me and you,
mm-hmm.
all the fans in San Diego, but I'm talking about the other players, the one that didn't play that much. They owe Coryell a lot because
absolutely.
He brought all that energy to the entire team, not just the starters, not just Dan Fouts,
mm-hmm.
not just Charlie Joyner or Kellen Winslow. He did that with all the players.
Yep.
Made them feel like that, made them feel good, made them think that they were the best player in the world.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I think he got the best out of everybody too. I really do.
He really did, yes. You're correct on that. Yeah, he got the best out of everybody.
And his coaching tree is still continuing, is it not?
I don't know.
Didn't he have, what's his name? Yeah, because you said your offensive coordinator.
Ernie Zampese?
Yes, Ernie Zampese.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know if I don't think he's still coaching, but I know that he was very instrumental.
No, he's not coaching.
Right.
But he's still in town. I think he lives there a little bit across the freeway from San Diego State.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Ernie Zampese. He's still in town. I know that.
Nice.
But Ernie was a product of Don Coryell.
Yep.
He came out of San Diego State with him.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Ernie
right.
was at San Diego State when Coryell was there, and he just followed him. Yeah.
Right.
Just followed him. Yeah.
So, continue with the Don Coryell memory and his induction to Hall of Fame. How was he in the locker room on speeches? Was he like, I don't want to say in your face, but was he stern, or was he pretty much laid back a little bit but got the point across?
Yeah, that was hard to describe his it's hard to say his locker room, mentality, but he wasn't an eloquent, smooth talking speaker.
Mm-hmm.
But he was one that you could tell that he had a lot of heart.
Okay.
Because when he gets halfway in his speech,
yes,
he might start crying.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Emotional guy.
He's very, very, very emotional. He's more emotional than he was a speaker. You know what I mean? Yeah, he showed his emotions quickly too. It didn't take long for him to burst out in tears.
Wow. But see, and again, I think that just goes back to his character, because he cared so much about the players. He cared so much about the team. And I think that's where it comes from.
Oh yeah. He definitely did that. He he loved everybody too.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be the lowest guy on special teams to the number 1 quarterback in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm. From
top to bottom, he loved you just as much as he loved, the in-between people.
Wow.
Also.
That's great. That's great. What a very, on a sad note though, what a shame it wasn't that he wasn't available to actually be there because of his passing. And that was sad. That was sad. But
it's just I just don't. I don't know why that happened, but the thing about not winning, not coaches not getting in the Hall of Fame because they won a Super Bowl,
right?
And he's a perfect example that shouldn't be a rule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's what really kept him out.
Oh yeah,
all those years that he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's and that's a shame, because if you just look at the Charger players that are in the Hall of Fame that didn't win a Super Bowl, why wasn't he amongst them? That's the thing that I don't.
Right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I never understood. And I mean, he was well deserving. He's the one that put in the West Coast offense, was he not? Or he was maybe not the West Coast, but he was the one that really introduced the passing game for sure.
Well, yeah, the numbering system that made it so easy for people to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was his offense. Now the West Coast offense is more. That's Bill Walsh.
Yes, that's right. That's Bill Walsh. Yeah,
right.
You're right.
That's Bill Walsh.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll tell you what. Don Coryell is definitely worthy of being in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
I mean, without a doubt.
He should have been there
years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years ago, he should have been in.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's good though. He did. He was a very deserving coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of that honor. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Charlie. I'll wrap this up. Is there any story that you could tell coming out of your reunion from this past Hall of Fame alumni that you'd like to share?
Nothing exciting was happening. Nothing that you could you can bring back to your wife and say, "Guess what happened?" None of those things happened this past time we were there.
Okay.
But I think the thing that we really liked that was really good is that we had a meeting, and it was so good of just players, just Hall of Fame players. We had a meeting of everybody in the Hall of Fame, and Willie Lanier led the meeting.
Oh wow!
And when Willie Lanier say sit down and shut up, you sit down and shut up. And then Willie Lanier, he gave a little short speech about the new inductees that were coming in that year, and it was very nice. It was very nice, and I'm glad that somebody finally, spoke up and said, we need to welcome these people in right.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And it shouldn't be just the Hall of Fame employees. It should be the players themselves.
Absolutely.
And so, he said, I want to bring them in right. And he did. They appreciated this a little bit more than they did the other way. Yeah,
that's great. That's you got to do that. You got to make them feel welcome. That's for sure.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's great.
Willie Neal, a great guy, a great man too.
Yeah, he played for the Chiefs, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Middle linebacker.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, were there any players? I mean, obviously, you guys are a fraternity, and you butted heads literally and figuratively with other players on other teams. But when you see each other, it's not about the uniform anymore, is it? It's about the person, correct?
It's about the person now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about the personalities now. Yeah.
That's great. Is there any one of the players from another team that stands out that you really enjoy seeing?
From another team?
Yes.
I really enjoy, people think I'm crazy, but I enjoy seeing Raider defensive players that's in the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Because it was such a fierce rivalry that you respected each and every one of those guys.
True.
And I truly like to be around other wide receivers who made it in the Hall of Fame. Because I think you should, inside of the Hall of Fame fraternity, you should have your own little position fraternity.
Sure.
Where you get together and go out and have dinner together.
Right.
You have any problems with the Hall of Fame, or you're not doing something, have that little meeting, speak to your spokesman, and just have that little meeting and get all that done.
I agree. That sounds great, Charlie. That sounds really good. You're right. They should have their own little fraternity inside the bigger picture.
Inside the big picture.
Yep.
Yeah. You do it by position, which is easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. I was gonna say, you mentioned the Raider players that you like seeing. Do you guys ever talk about the quote good old days of playing against each other? And is there any ribbing, any good humor ribbing and stuff going on?
Oh yeah. It goes on in every like the hotel we staying in Kent has a little bar downstairs. It's not a big, it's not a big time hotel. It's just a small town hotel.
Right.
And but they do have a little bar downstairs. And I would say when most of the things for the day are over with, and guys people come back to the hotel to go out to eat dinner with their wives and stuff, they always stop in the thing and they always have a beer. And by the time they get to drinking beer and hatching over good times and bad times, and they don't miss their wife at dinner apartment. But anyway, that's a nice little time that they take to get together.
Yeah, that's great. That's good stuff.
Just for dinner time every day. They have a little time. They meet up in the thing, have a beer, and have a little talk. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can just imagine there'd be some ribbon going on. Going, you remember that time I gave you that hard hit, and and you're like, yeah, I remember. I still feel it.
Yeah, that's what that little time is all about.
Yep, absolutely. That's great. So just to wrap this up, Charlie, your incredible career has taken you from a little place in Louisiana to 3 different teams, culminated by the Hall of Fame, and your jersey retired. What an absolute incredible career. I don't know if there's any other accolade we could give you. We'd like to give the key to the city or something.
Yeah, I think we just might run out,
but
and I appreciate everything everyone has done for me, and I really treasure all those accomplishments. I really treasure them very, 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 very much.
Absolutely, yeah. Charlie. That's awesome. Congratulations once again that nobody on the Chargers will ever again wear number 18, because that only belongs to you, and an incredible receiver, and an incredible person too. I really appreciate your friendship so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you also.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So nice and kind to me. Yeah.
Absolutely, Charlie. Anytime, man. Anytime. I'd love to have you back on again. In fact, I was thinking I'd love to have you back on the Friday before the Broncos Chargers game, and we could talk about where the teams are in the standings and how bad the Broncos look and how great the Chargers look, and because that's what it's looking like now. So
yeah.
But
give me a holler. I'll be at home.
All right, I sure will. That's later on the season.
Friday nights I'm at home. I'm at home Friday afternoons and Friday nights all the time.
Yeah, that first Charger game won't be until December, so we'll check and see if you got any plans going on in December.
Okay, I'll be here.
All righty, Charlie. Thanks once again for being on the show. Really appreciate it for all your insights and your knowledge and just your willingness to be on the show. Really appreciate it.
Oh, that's right. My pleasure.
All right, Charlie. We will talk to you soon. Have a great evening.
Okay, you too. Have a great evening.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. That was fantastic. Really, really appreciate Charlie giving up his time, being on the show. And thanks, guys, for all your comments. I didn't want to keep them, wait too long. But Charlie's just an easygoing guy. Just love talking to him. Love having him on the show. He enjoys talking about his career, and why not? It's an absolutely remarkable career. I didn't want to leave without at least giving shout outs to the people in the chat. I really appreciate it. Avatar came in early and said, what's up, Broncos country and 2023 NBA champs Nuggets Nation. He also says, and I mentioned the thing that he loves, he grew up watching Charlie Joyner. Jack Kenneth, thanks for being in the chat room. Appreciate it. Jody Lynn Baker, same to you. Graham Tidetick, thank you so much for being in. Clayton Huron, always asking people to smash that like button. And Alex Smith for asking the question, when did Charlie go into the Hall of Fame? It was 1996. And then wrapped it up by saying, thank you, Charlie, for being on. So that's great. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, it's been fun. It's always fun having Charlie on. This is the second time. I hope to have him on once again. He seems to want to come on again for the Charger Bronco. That would be fun to talk about. get some insight of what he sees. And, from the standpoint of, the matchups and that kind of thing, to get a perspective from a Hall of Fame wide receiver and number 18 jersey retired by the LA Chargers, but also going back to when he played only for the San Diego Chargers. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. Greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button. Tell your friends, your family, your enemies, your coworkers, whomever, about the MHRT network, as well as this show. We've got shows Monday through Friday. Please check it out. Just go to MHRT on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you go, and look it up and check out whatever show you want to watch. We have hockey starting up here pretty soon, but the show's been going all year. It's called the Cluster Puck, and that's on Mondays. 5280 is on Tuesdays, and followed by Wild Wild West on Wednesdays. And then we have Brew's Orange and Brew on Thursday. And then my show again this coming Friday is going to be Broncos Breakdown live at 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's it, guys. Thanks again so much for being in. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great, great weekend. And let's go Broncos. Let's beat the Jets and send Nathaniel Hackett back to New York. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you on Sunday with the neighborhood. Until then, have a great, great evening and weekend. Bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.